Hey everyone. As a dog trainer, one of the biggest things I help people with is building that incredible bond with their dog. And let me tell you, the secret isn't in fancy tricks. It's in truly understanding them. So today, we're going to dive deep and decode a really critical part of their language: consent.
So let me ask you something. Does your dog really want that pet? You know that moment, right? You reach down to give them a good scratch and they just kind of stand there? And you're left wondering, is he actually enjoying this or is he just putting up with it because he's a good boy? It's a tough one. And honestly, it can be really hard to tell. I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. Think about it. You know that super uncomfortable feeling when a distant relative pulls you in for a long, tight hug you absolutely did not ask for? Yeah, that feeling. Well, our dogs can feel something really similar. Respecting their personal space isn't just some fluffy idea. It's just as important for them as it is for us. And this right here, this requires a huge shift in how we see our relationship with our dogs. For so long, it was all about command and control, right? A one-way street. But the best relationships, the ones built on real trust, they're not like that. They're a conversation, a two-way street. It's all about learning to listen just as much as we speak. Okay, so how do we actually start this conversation? Well, we've got a great tool for that. It's called a consent test. And don't worry, it sounds way more technical than it is. It's really just a super simple, practical way to ask your dog, hey, you good with this? It gives them the power to make a choice to opt in or opt out. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. I'm going to show you two incredibly simple ways to ask for consent. And I'm not kidding, you can start using these today and they will absolutely change the game in how you interact with your dog. Okay, test number one is what I call ask for approach. It's so simple. All you do is calmly say your dog's name, pat your leg, and then, and this is the most important part, you do nothing. You wait. You don't take a single step towards them. The choice to close that gap has to be 100% theirs. Now for my personal favorite and one I use all the time, the pet pause rule. It's exactly what it sounds like. You give your dog a couple of nice pets, maybe on the chest or the shoulder. We generally want to avoid going right over the top of the head, as that can be a bit intimidating for some dogs. And then you pause. And I mean you pull your hand all the way back. That little pause, it's everything. It's a clear, simple question. Did you like that? Want more? So you've asked the question. That's step one. Awesome. But what about step two? How do you understand the answer? See, your dog is giving you an answer, but it's not with words. It's all in their body language. And it's our job to become fluent in what they're saying. So let's break this down. What exactly are we looking for? A yes is usually pretty easy to spot. It's active, it's enthusiastic, their body gets all loose and wiggly, their eyes are soft, and they might even nudge your hand like, hey, why'd you stop? But a no? Well, a no can be a lot more subtle. It might be a stiffening of their body, turning their head away, or those little stress signals like a quick lip lick or a yawn when they're obviously not tired. And of course, if they get up and walk away, that's about as clear a no as you can get. But what about those confusing mixed signals? You know, when they kind of walk towards you but then stop, or they give your hand a little lick and then immediately back away. That's your dog feeling conflicted. And here is an absolutely crucial rule of thumb. When it comes to dog consent, maybe is always a no. If you're in doubt, just back off. Give them their space. This whole topic brings us to what I think is one of the most misunderstood and honestly dangerous myths out there. It's about growling. So many people hear a growl and their immediate reaction is, bad dog, that's aggressive, and they punish it. But here's the reality. A growl is communication. That's it. It's your dog's way of saying very clearly, I am really uncomfortable right now. Please stop. When you punish the growl, you don't fix what's making them uncomfortable. All you do is teach them not to give you a warning next time. Think of it like this. Punishing a growl is like taking the batteries out of your smoke detector. You haven't put out the fire, you've just silenced the alarm. Okay, so now that we've got a handle on this with people, let's expand it out. Because this whole idea of consent, it's not just about us and our dogs. The exact same rules apply to dog-on-dog play, and they are absolutely the foundation for making sure that play stays fun and safe for everyone. When play is good, it's like a beautiful flowing conversation. You'll see that classic play bow invitation, butt in the air, front and down. The movements are bouncy, they're kind of inefficient and goofy, not stiff and direct. And the biggest thing to look for is role reversal. They take turns chasing each other. You'll even see big dogs do this amazing thing called self-handicapping, where they'll literally flop over and let a smaller dog win just to keep the game going. But that fun can turn sour really fast. The line between play and bullying can be thin, and the key difference is that back and forth. Is it reciprocal? Are they taking breaks? Or has it become totally one-sided? If you see one dog relentlessly chasing or pinning another dog who is obviously trying to get away, well, it's not a game anymore. It's bullying. So, a dog that's getting overwhelmed will start throwing out what we call cutoff signals. They're basically trying to say, hey, I need a break, in the most polite way they know how. This can look like a sudden freeze, a very deliberate turn of the head, or, and this is a classic, they'll suddenly become super interested in sniffing the ground. They're tapping out, and a socially savvy dog will see that and back off. And hey, if you're watching two dogs play and you're just not sure if everyone's still having a good time, you can do a quick consent test for them too. Just calmly and briefly hold one of the dogs back. Then let them go and watch. What happens? Does the other dog immediately try to get the game started again with a playbow? Or do they use that pause to walk away, maybe shake it off? Believe me, their reaction will tell you everything you need to know. And that really brings us to your most important job in all of this. You are your dog's advocate. You're not just a bystander hoping they'll figure it out. You are their voice, their protector, the one who steps in and makes sure they always feel safe. And when you start listening to these subtle cues, the payoff is huge. Seriously, you help your dog avoid stressful situations, which drastically lowers the risk of bites. But even more than that, you build this incredible foundation of trust. Your dog learns that you have their back no matter what. At the end of the day, this is what it all boils down to. When you make that commitment to really understanding and respecting your dog's consent, you're doing something so much bigger than just preventing a problem. You are literally giving them a voice. Your dog is always communicating. Always. From the tiniest little ear flick to a big, goofy playbow, they are talking to you. The only question left is, are you listening?